August 1942. The Nazi war machine is gaining steam, and expanding technologies threaten any rivals of the Germans. The influence of the damned fascists has far extended what our allies had thought possible. As the failure of the Maginot Line flattens the spirits and the health of our French brothers in combat, our own health in London is much suppressed by the houndish Luftwaffe. There's the air raids. It's nice and chilly, but the blaze of this war burns even as far out as our poor little Mile End. Those nights, when your only hope is to remain tearless in the sight of what family has been evicted by ballistic force, when your only senses are the roaring thunder of Junkers, the bleating sense of evanescence you gain from nearby shells, an almost mocking siren of the Stuka. Those nights are bad, sure, until you are truly the victim of one. That was it for me. Just a flash. And then I felt so alone. I had no home, just an Eastender. No one on Connaught wished to muck around after some filthy poor old Eastender. And they were just too highly first removed ones down there in Kingston. But they were the only places to wallow towards after Stepney was bombed out that night. Till that woman, an angel of a woman, bless her heart, tag on her breast marked Victoria, yet everyone in the complex titled her Queenie, myself included. Mrs. Buxton, others called her. She's all I have left to call a family, even if she doesn't see the same way I do. When I was left by everyone else I knew, she and the Red Cross were the only ones to offer help. Some complained of the shriveled soppy sausage or the cheap rations bread, yeah. But to the most of us, this was the best meal we had ever gotten. There was a war on, after all. Couldn't be so sure a meal comes tomorrow, or the day after that, yeah. So we really made the best out of what we had. A rest on the floor was a luxury, even if there was little else we could take ownership of. Every night the sounds were the same, sure. Same as they were before. The limited windows in the school made for less of a show of protection than it did a show of fear, however. That concrete complex was supposed to protect us, and it did. But the blasts reverberating through the basement only instilled within us more fear. Without knowing where those blasts were, knowing an equal amount of innocent English were displaced or killed by them all, we felt terrible. We felt fearful, knowing the next blast could be right above us, removing us twice from our homes and putting us in such shit outside that survival was barely an entertaining question for the most. Those nights were so bloody loud. Be so wickedly still as we sat, fish in a barrel. But that woman, that Queenie Buxton, she was an absolute godsend for the most of us. Because she was from round Longbridge, our initial thoughts of her were limited in good respect, but as time went on, she proved herself to be the most endearingly careful of our health. Fucking rude of a surprise that was, seriously. Eastenders, nigh all of us, upright denied from the street, and this woman works the Red Cross. Told me the other night, while we were having a chat about life before the war, she never even worked a real day in her life since 13 or so, when she moved to London. So why was she working now? That was on my mind, bound to be others. The woman's got a husband on campaign in India, says he's a banker. Why's she here if she's just a well-off Westerner? The more I learn of her, the more I question it, and the more I admire her. She seems to care the most about us. The ones above her just harass her all day concerning quotas and filings and forms. Oh, you're not filling out enough this, or you need to recommend less of that, but I think she's doing the right kind of work here, seriously. Bang up job on the books, love is. She's never an earshot away of helping out the newly dishevelled, Q or not. But I guess that's where I draw the line on this war. That if England could even have a term like that. Similar to those thrown in rank and sent off to lead their early deaths in foreign countries. The home life was no better. Working simple jobs rather than army, more of us were rejected of living space simply for residing in London. And much like the lads in, say, Dunkirk, we too were beginning to wish for evacuation from our own hometown. being killed by Germans, right where you live. But we had no navy to evacuate us here, no other country to flee to. We have to stay here. Carbon, yeah. I don't like it, but it's a life. That woman, in this shit time to live, and the faces you see outside are masked in fear and robbers. She's something else. Who won't she help? I'm not sure, I haven't seen it yet, but she inspired me, that's for damn sure. I've registered for rank. I'm not educated now. I'm definitely fit enough to be on those front lines. I swear. For every person shoveled into this concrete school for the damned, there will be 2 more Germans with grey matter spread out in the mud beneath them. And that is how this war has transformed me. From a normal tanner to a bloodthirsty revenant with a personal vendetta against a whole country. There's a sort of romanticism to it too. If it weren't for the people of the Red Cross, I'd be dead in the streets rather than dead in a campaign against those who did my country wrong. In that respect, I suppose things are fair. Thank you, Queenie Buxton. Thank you.